According to Stats Canada, the number of individuals living alone has reached an all-time high. In fact, the single-person household is now the most common type of household in Canada. Financial life is different for singles compared to couples or couples with children. And so in today's video, we're going to jump into what it means to do wealth planning when you're single. Creating a financial safety net is especially important. Spouses or a couple have the luxury of relying on the other spouse if they're to lose their job. So when you're single, it's especially important to create that safety net in the event you find yourself without an income for a period of time. If you're a business owner or self-employed and don't have an employee benefits package, you might want to consider looking at things like critical illness or disability insurance. Those are going to pay out in the event you become critically ill or disabled and are unable to work for a period of time. We know just because you're not working doesn't mean that the bills go away. And so critical illness policy or disability policy may be a way to protect against lost income in the event you were to suffer from an illness and unable to work for a period of time. Now, a lot of folks that are working for an employer probably have some sort of health benefits coverage that may include critical illness and or disability coverage. But I would really encourage you to take a closer look at what those benefits are to ensure it would in fact be enough in the event you weren't able to work for a period of time due to disability or due to illness. Either way, building an emergency fund of liquid savings could be really important and really help to supplement lost income if you were unable to work for a period of time or found yourself out of a job due to a layoff. And so an emergency fund can be created either in a bank account, a non-registered account, or even a tax-free savings account. High interest savings rates right now are pretty decent due to the higher overall interest rates that we're seeing. And so it might be worth looking into a high interest savings option for your emergency fund. Let's look at planning for retirement when you're single. A couple with two incomes can share mortgage payments, cost of living expenses, car expenses, and really pool their money together to cover some of these fixed costs. A single person, of course, has to cover a lot of these costs on their own, so additional budgeting may need to be done when planning for retirement. So developing and sticking to your investment plan is really critical, as this might form the bulk of your income while you are in retirement. And of course, it's still really important to stay on top of your estate planning. So when you're single, it might be easy to put off getting a will done, but I really encourage you to think about who you might want your beneficiaries of your accounts or any property you own to be. And if that's the case, if you would like to leave those items to someone if you were to pass away, it is important to create a will and to make sure that your beneficiary designations are done correctly. And you'll also want to give some thought to who you want your executor to be. A lot of times with common law spouses or married couples, they choose to list one another as their executor. I would encourage you as well to think about maybe a friend or sibling or even a professional executor that could act as trustee of your will in the event you were to pass away, and to make sure that all your wishes in your will are executed on accordingly. Now, we know that taking on the job of an executor can be a big job, and sometimes people might feel uncomfortable about asking a sibling or asking a friend to do it. If you feel that monetary compensation could be in order if they are to act as your executor, that is something you can also work with your lawyer with to ensure that your executor could be compensated in some way after you've passed. And finally, let's not forget about actually enjoying retirement, but at the same time, making sure you have a nice cash cushion to help take care of you in the event anything were to go not as planned. Retirement planning as a single person certainly comes with added benefits, as there's no compromise that you have to make with anyone in terms of what you're going to do in retirement or how you're going to enjoy it. So while we talked earlier about how a financial safety net is really important while you're in your working years to help offset any temporary loss in income, a retirement financial safety net can be really important too, especially when we consider the cost of private health care or maybe needing a little bit of extra assistance in the household. By having that money set aside for that specific reason, you'll be able to maintain your standard of living and do the activities you like while being able to pay for some of these added supports. You can read the entire article on this topic by clicking on the link in our bio, and please check out our website where we regularly post market updates and financial tips like this. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for watching.